Hello everyone, it's great to see you again in module number 12. So, continuing on, I want to tell you that when we talk about micro-credentials, we're talking about flexibility, innovation, and new ways to certify learning. But there's one question that defines everything. How do we ensure the quality of what we issue? Because without quality, a micro-credential is worthless. And without trust, adoption is impossible. For decades, higher education controlled quality through hierarchical structures, committees, regulations, and accreditations. That worked in a closed system. But the micro-credential ecosystem is different. It's dynamic, open, and distributed. The challenge is no longer to control from above, but to ensure trust from within. The quality of a micro-credential is not measured by its design, the logo it bears, or how many people have received it. It is measured by something deeper, the clarity, verifiability, and transferability of the evidence. Each credential must be able to answer three simple questions. What does it certify? Who endorses it? And under what criteria was it awarded? If any of those answers are missing, the credential loses its academic value. In this new context, we talk about a paradigm of distributed quality. It is no longer a final seal, it is a network of integrated guarantees. Quality is built from the course design, from the evaluation criteria, and from the metadata that accompanies the badge, and from the traceability that allows it to be publicly verified. We can think of quality in three complementary dimensions. The first is academic. It ensures that what is taught is relevant, rigorous, and properly assessed. The second is technical. It guarantees that the credential is verifiable, interoperable, and traceable. The third is reputational, the trust generated by the issuing institution. All three together make up the real value of the micro-credential. The heart of quality lies in the metadata. Metadata is the DNA of the credential. They state what it represents, what was assessed, what evidence supports it, who issued it, and when it was awarded. Without this data, the credential may be visually appealing but academically empty. That is why a university adopting micro-credentials must have a clear institutional policy. It cannot depend on the individual initiative of a professor or a department. It needs common rules so that it can be verified how validation is done, who approves the issuance, and how the quality of each batch is reviewed. If that framework is not in place, the system becomes fragmented and loses legitimacy. The next step is competency-based assessment. In the traditional model, a course is passed with a final grade, but a grade does not say much about a student's actual skills. Micro-credentials change that. Each competency must have observable and measurable criteria. It must be demonstrated with evidence, not just exams. The teacher shifts from assigning grades to validating verifiable achievements. This requires new teacher training, designing rubrics, defining evidence, and clearly communicating criteria. A teacher who masters competency-based assessment ensures that each credential is meaningful, coherent, and of high quality. In fact, without competent teachers, there are no reliable credentials. Quality is also maintained over time. A credential is not issued and then forgotten. It must be reviewed, updated, and audited. The most advanced universities conduct reviews every 12 or 24 months. They analyze whether the competency is still relevant, if the content is up to date, and if the course maintains its level of rigor. Quality is a continuous process, not a one-time event. Another essential aspect is transparency. Institutions that publish their policies, criteria, and open catalogs generate immediate trust. Students and employers can see what each credential certifies, how it was evaluated, and what technical standard it uses. UNESCO, NCUA, and OneTech recommend making this information public because transparency increases the value of each badge. Cross-recognition also matters. A credential issued by a university and validated or endorsed by another institution, a professional chamber, or a regional network gains immediate legitimacy. That shared recognition is the foundation of the global ecosystem. We can even measure quality with indicators, for example, the number of credentials issued, the percentage that are publicly verifiable, the associated employability level, and the satisfaction of teachers and students. These are simple metrics, but they reflect the maturity level of the system. It's not about issuing a large number of credentials, it's about issuing the right ones, those with purpose, rigor, and recognition. Issuing credentials just for the sake of it can erode trust. Issuing them with intention strengthens it. That's why quality assurance must be part of the institution's ANN. Every new credential should go through a technical and academic review process. It should have digital traceability, a clear rubric, and a visible institutional signature. That way, each batch becomes an act of trust that is publicly validated. Quality also has an ethical dimension. Issuing a credential means signing off on something about a person, saying this person has demonstrated this competency. If we do this without rigor, we put the university's reputation at risk. But if we do it well, each batch reinforces our credibility. Academic trust is built evidence by evidence. A university with a good microcredential system can showcase its quality in a living, not theoretical way. Each batch issued with clear standards is a small accreditation in itself. When we accumulate thousands of these pieces of evidence, entire institutions generate and earn reputation. The institution is known not for what it says about itself, but for what its credentials demonstrate. We are moving from a model of control to a model of trust. Trust is not signed on paper, it is built with consistency, transparency, and results. And that consistency must be present from curriculum design all the way to the final delivery of the batch. Quality is when the entire system breathes the same standard. Quality assurance in an institution is not a bureaucratic obligation, it is a culture that seeks improvement, learns from its mistakes, and puts the student at the center of the experience, a university that evaluates, reviews, and communicates honestly. It is a university that inspires trust. The future of microcredentials will depend more on trust than on technology. Blockchain, AI, or metadata are tools, but clarity comes from rigor, from how we teach, how we assess, and how we demonstrate quality. Excellence is not delegated to a platform, it is built through academic practice. Ultimately, quality is not an obstacle to innovation, it is what gives innovation its meaning. A microcredential without quality is just a digital souvenir, but a microcredential with quality is a token of trust, and trust is the new core value of higher education. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next module. I hope you enjoyed this.